Hey YouTube, welcome to another Solidworks quick tip. This time we're going to have a look at creating a custom sheet format for drawings. We'll start this off by selecting one of the standard drawing formats and then select a sheet format that you want to modify. In my case I'm going to select ISO A3, but you can choose whatever format suits your purposes. Click on the red X to end the import of the model because we won't be needing that at this point. Next, we zoom in on the title area and go straight to Edit Sheet Format. There are several input boxes in the title area where you can enter text. They're a little bit hard to find unless you know where they are, but if you click around in the general area that I am selecting, you should be able to get them to highlight. I'll show you another way to find them a little bit later in the video. Once you have selected the input area, double-click on it and select Link Properties from the left-hand panel. This will open a dialog allowing us to choose what property we want to link to. In this case, we want to link to the model that is specified in the sheet properties, and we're going to type in the revision property and click OK. I like to change the drawing number to the part number from the model. In this case, it's not a text entry area, but we can do the same thing by double-clicking on it and editing the link properties of the text. I also alter the font sizes to work better for me. My descriptions tend to be a bit wordy, so I need to reduce the size of that font to make sure everything fits. To do that, just double-click on the text itself and edit the font properties in the dialog pops up. I always link the company name in, and for me, everything else is pretty much good to go as it is. But alter anything to suit yourself, of course. Because I'm a one-man band, I don't need all these checked by and approved by fields, so I just select them all and delete them now, get rid of them and make room for some of the things that I would like to have there. I'll leave the QA field there, just to show that I have actually built the part. I have good intentions of filling it out each time I build a part, but sometimes it doesn't work out that way. However, it's there in case I do remember it. I just move it up and position it under the drawn field to make room for some of the other things that I'd like to put in there. The lines in a title area are essentially the same as any line in a sketch. We can edit it, delete it, give it constraints and move it around to suit our needs. Everything I do is paperless, so it's just a waste of space to have a signature column, so let's give that a flick and we'll rearrange the date to use the available space a little bit better. There's just a few more lines I'd like to arrange. Just note the coincident constraint has to be removed before I can extend the vertical line to the bottom, and that's as you would expect in any sketch that we were working on. Next I'd like to insert a logo, so I go to Insert Object, select from a file, browse to the bitmap for my logo and double click on it. Once we've got it in, we just drag it into the position we want, and I'm just going to eyeball this into a central position rather than go to the trouble of aligning it properly. The next thing to do is to set up the text boxes for the drawn by, drawn date and quality assurance fields. We do this in the same manner as we used for setting up the revision and the part number earlier. So let's just get on with that and accelerate our way through it. The last thing I want to alter is the standard text for the finish and tolerances. Given the sort of things that I generally like to design, the intended purpose is for them to be built in a DIY workshop at home. Tolerance isn't all that important. We can get away with plus or minus a millimetre and plus or minus a degree in most cases, and I can specify those cases where we need tighter tolerances on the drawing. Let's just put in some default values that work for me. I can alter them on a drawing by drawing basis as needs be. Now here's a tip for those that are really pedantic about appearances. You'll see that the plus signs for the tolerances don't line up. This happens when there's proportional font involved, so what we can do is to select some of the space characters in one line or the other and assign a different size font to them and force the alignment manually in that manner. It takes a bit of experimentation, but if you're really pedantic about it, it can be done. The next thing to do is to define the title area. So right click and from the pop-up menu select Define Title Block and drag the handles of the area to neatly surround our title. I said before I'd show you how to find all the text entry areas, and this is it. Once you define the title area, all the text entry areas become visible. Now, the text entry areas allow you to tab between them, and in order to establish a sequence, we need to select each area in turn in the order that we wish to use them in. Hit the green tick on the left to finish editing the title area, and the button on the right to finish editing the sheet format. Go to the File menu and select Save Sheet Format. Again, I like to keep this outside the Solidworks tree, and I save this in the special area that I keep for my custom templates. The last thing we need to do is to tell Solidworks where to find this. Go to the Tools menu and select Options. Browse to the File Locations area, and this time we're going to look for Sheet Formats. You need to add the directory where you saved your new sheet format. I've already done this, but you'll need to add yours and click OK. Now you can close the drawing, but don't save it because we've already saved the sheet format that we wanted. Now we'll just quickly create a part to demonstrate what we've achieved. A carbon steel cube will be sufficient. We'll fill out the properties for this part, but notice that I leave the two date fields blank. We'll save the part file so that we can make a drawing out of it. In the File menu, go to Create Drawing from Part and make sure we use the new sheet format that we just saved. Drag a few random views onto the drawing so that there's some content. Notice that the text fields have been automatically filled in with the properties from the SolidWorks part. One exception is a description field, and I'm not quite sure what I've done wrong there. It happens a lot. It's quite easily fixed, and I'll show you how to fix that. If we double click in our title area, that will activate the text entry boxes. I can enter something into the finish area, and if I tab from that, that takes us into the materials, and it knows that there's a material. It should open the material dialog. But what I really want to do is enter something in the drawn by date. So we'll do that now, and then I'll show you what happens. We need to save the drawing first, and then we can switch back to our part. Open the part properties, and we can see that the value we entered in for the drawn by date has been transferred to the part and saved as part of that again. As to the missing description, note that while the word cube is in the value column, there is nothing in the right-hand column to show a result. If we select the word cube in the value column and just hit enter, the right-hand column gets the result and everything will work properly again. Now when we flip back to the drawing, you can see that we have a description. I hope you found this tutorial informative. If you have, please click on like and consider subscribing for more.